Guys, this one's pretty emotional.
This is pretty funny.
This is pretty messed up.
Do you really think I'm not a good sister?
Well, it's not that you're not a good sister. It's just you gotta think that your actions don't just have doesn't affect not just only you, but it also affects me. Like next year, I'm gonna be applying for colleges, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do that. With things that are on the internet, I might not even be able to get a girlfriend because people they already know. In public, people ask me, "Do you really like your sister? Do you really approve of this?" Like, I actually don't think this can work in my future.
Christian, with everything that I'm doing, I've never once wanted it to affect you like this. Bro, I'm sorry. I really don't want it to affect you.
There's nothing else I can say. Everything else. I'm leaving.
Yeah,
Bro.
Did you say gynecologist?
No, colleges.
Oh, colleges.
Colleges.
I heard gynecologist. So
So, like,
All right, so I'm going to let Katie explain this one because she sent it to me.
So she's an OnlyFans model, right? Model, entertainer, etc. And she's she's been making money for her family, and providing for them. She's basically paying for her little brother's college, but he's everybody knows who you are, and they ask are you okay with your sister doing this stuff? How do you feel about it? I feel like that would be a really tough situation, man.
I'm actually going through that right now.
Yep. With your kids or
with
family?
my little same, different. You feel me?
Okay.
So my little brothers are they don't they're, you know what? I'm gonna just say it. They're so mean.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day,
about what you're doing.
Yeah. But at the
I
end
get
of the
it,
day,
though,
I'm the only one that they can call on, they can depend on. If they need something, right? My little brother, he's 16. He does football. He's emotionally unavailable. His life, his love is football.
Yeah.
You know? So he tore his ACL.
Okay.
Mom needed help. I went and I did that. You
Okay.
know? But then I come back into the household and they're like, yo, where's my sister? What is she doing? You know, who is she with?
She's in the streets,
and I
man.
understand. And I understand because I'm like, yo, I'm out here getting that bread.
It's confusing for a young man to see your sister doing that stuff.
Yeah, and it sucks because I understand that they have their feelings about what I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
completely valid.
But at the end of the day, do not ever let anybody talk anything about your family.
Yeah.
If you know that you can depend on your family, if you can go on with that, if you can have solace and solidarity in that, that's fine.
Loki, I feel like the video is staged for engagement.
I was just
probably.
about to say that.
Yeah, it may be staged for
exploiting
engagement,
the
but that is some
situation
real
and
stuff
making
that's
that,
actually happening.
engagement
And I kind of cried. I did. I cried a little bit.
First thing I thought when I saw this was this is probably to boost her
Put on,
OnlyFans. Yeah. But here's the thing is
Reaction farming.
I hate that that's my first presumption. I hate that
it wasn't really genuinely.
Yeah, that it wasn't. The fact that it could have been makes me feel that much worse for having watched the
Have you seen her other videos with him? She bought him a car with her.
Because I'm a mom, it hit me differently because I could understand that perspective as a young man. Because my son's about to be 16.
Well, a lot of the
I would love to hear so much more about your perspective because my mom has been an adult worker. She's been a dancer though. You feel me?
My son doesn't know that realm of me.
No.
I feel that.
I have geo-blocked most of my family.
Do you think that he's going to find out? Is that a fear of yours?
I don't think that he's necessarily naive because my son is in top 1% in the country and in the gifted program.
You seem like you have smart kids.
My son is brilliant. He's actually appearing at Congress in June to actually speak at the medical leaders of America.
Can I come?
Yes.
I'm so serious.
Bring all your friends.
Congratulations so much. But there's a reason that I protect my one identity to the other. And I keep my lives completely separate because of that industry.
May I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
So you have your breast done.
Yes.
Okay. So
but my boobs were about this size before I breastfed, so I really just pumped them back up to what they were.
Oh, okay. So my question
Bicycle
is,
pump.
because I want to get my breast done and everything like that.
I'll give you
know.
my doctor. He's amazing.
I'm going
I have no
with
scars.
Dr. Smith, but
Dr. Sessa, Sarasota, Florida.
That's real.
Oh.
And I've
Okay.
sent him people from Vegas, Boston, all over the country just to get them done because I literally have 0 scars.
But my question is, do you feel like after you had your breasts like done and everything like that, when it came to like PTAs and like involvement with like normal vanilla life,
I show
was
up
it
like a
different?
soccer mom with a bun in my hair, no makeup,
Dude,
and,
she's the
and a
MILF.
big hoodie.
Okay.
She's the
so
MILF.
it
So,
didn't
I
change
don't-
for you.
No. No.
Okay, thank
because
you.
I didn't allow it to. I don't
That's something
project,
that I'm
I don't
learning
present
from my
myself
mother.
around my son or that realm of my life like this.
You would get so. You would
See,
get
so
along with my mom
here's the reason I'm asking you. The reason I asked about your mom in the first place is this: is that
Listen, thank you.
there is a sort of this, and maybe this video sort of plays into that, but there's this, I think, push, or there's this new narrative, or there's this new like sort of line of attack on
There's
women who
definitely
do
mom shame.
yeah, well, it is, but it's also OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Oh, the internet never forgets. You all, and I've said this before. It's like women who are in OnlyFans, women. It doesn't have to be OnlyFans. You could be on Instagram and have like ass shots if you want. That's like somewhere that exists,
Absolutely.
right? And if you had if one, and I'm just saying it for sake of example, like if one of your son's friends, not himself,
Yeah.
but one of his friends looks up your shots from like 10 years ago and you go, is this your mom? Right. That it would take a lot of determination for a guy to do, for a kid to do that on, like, say, your Instagram. Not that they couldn't find it, they probably could, but the idea is that they're going to have the tenacity to go and do something like that so that they can find some way to fuck with your son because mom
But
was
those
I
an
separate
OnlyFans
myself
girl.
weird.
so much
Those
from my
kids are
son's
weird.
friends.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
don't
do you-
allow them
do you-
to see this part of my personality because I literally show up with no makeup, hair, so they wouldn't even.
And
put two together.
here's the thing: is we had like a few weeks ago
I'm very protective.
we had Fresh and Fit and we had Marquette in here and he was going after Doma because Doma has a child as well, right? And quite honestly, I thought it was more sensationalist than anything else. I understand the line of attack and I understand there's this want to sort of like escalate shit as much as possible. But the fact of the matter is this is going to be increasingly more common as women get older, as we
Yeah.
progress more within the social media age. And I think that one of the things, and this was my take on this, is that the kids that are doing this, at some point, it's going to be so normalized that their moms are doing it just as much as their friends' moms are doing it. And it's not going to be some sort of like, competition and shaming because Joey's mom was an OnlyFans skank back in the day and just like your mom was, right? And so there's this back and forth between them. And I'm saying that it's going to get to the point where it's going to be so we're going to cast, what is it, the Overton window for all of, for OnlyFans women who can't get away from their digital footprint. So telling women to see sort of like the God's eye view of this, the forest for the trees here, and saying like going forward into the future, women are more likely going to regret having done what they've done, but only to an extent because so many have done it and so many are doing it still
I'm
right
not
now.
gonna lie. My son is so intelligent and my son is so supportive. I've been a single mom pretty much since I was like 6 months pregnant. My ex-husband and I separated when he was a year because I caught him cheating on me when I was pregnant. Tried to do marriage counseling, didn't work. But I've never gotten child support, never gotten alimony. I've done everything for my son myself. So my son has wanted for nothing. He's a 4.8 weighted GPA. He's in the gifted top 1% in the country. Black belt in Taekwondo since he was 11.
Hell yeah.
I have done everything for my son by myself. And I also have an insanely sarcastic personality. And I sexualize 90% of jokes. And my son is witness to a bunch of them. So in that fact, he's not naive. However, we have not sat down and had the talk of what I do, although he does know that I work in the nightclub industry.
Do you think
It
he
just
needs to have
never
that
had,
talk?
but I know he's seen my dance shoes.
Yeah.
I know he's seen my outfits hanging out. You know what? I don't think he would judge me, and I don't think, like, when it came down to it, honestly, if I would have bring it up now, I don't think he'd be surprised.
He would be more proud.
And
Like,
you know what?
Speaking
and
from
he would just
experience,
brush
he
it
would be
off
more
and be
proud.
like, you know what? My mom is the best mom. I never miss anything. I buy him everything. He wants for nothing. And I have no one to thank but myself. So,
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think that, so like a lot of, do you have something, Zoe?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm like, I have a daughter, and like I've always thought about like how I'm going to bring that up, like when she gets older. And then I was like, you know what? I was like, if some kids say something to her, I'm just gonna tell her, walk your ass back in that classroom and tell them, okay, but did your mom bring you to Disneyland 6 times this year? Shut up.
That's my whole thing. I got bullied relentlessly by everybody. They like ever since elementary school. They would be like, oh, so your mom's a stripper? Can I bounce quarters off of her ass or whatever, you know? So then my mom told me
when you old enough.
I have also done my due diligence.
If they can make the money, shit, it's going to the same
I've also
place.
done
I
due
don't care.
diligence to geo-block certain parts of the country
Yeah.
from being accessible to my entertainer Instagram. So I've blocked family members. I've blocked certain states.
My mom
I
had to do
actually
that
have
too.
an IT guy that has done that for me. So I've actually taken the time to actually do that. You know.
Well, so I think that a lot of the stuff that I see right now is this want to escalate things, and I don't think it's about like actually trying to warn women or anything like that, or it's more about like sort of there's this want for red meat in the chats. There's this want
They
for
want
this
contention.
this shaming, this
They want
shame,
contention.
and I hate to even use the word because I hate using this is the most
I don't know
overused
what
word
it
in the world, but
means.
it's like they say these shaming tactics, but it's done from a perspective of I'm doing you the fucking favor. No,
Well,
you're not doing the
they can
fucking
only
favor.
shame
You're
you if
doing,
you have remorse.
yeah, well, the other thing is, like, as I was saying before, I'm not saying that because things are going to be normalized more in the future. I think that, like I said, like the sons and daughters of women who are in OnlyFans right now, it's going to get to the point where it's going to be so common that I don't think it will be as big a deal as everybody wants to make it out. I'm not saying that it's right or it's fucking wrong. I'm just pointing out the obvious here is that there's going to be this commonality from the next generation. It's not Gen Z. It's going to be whatever comes after Gen Z. So I was going to say one second.
Go ahead.
I was going to say is that the idea that you're doing society and this woman a favor by saying you need to get off OnlyFans and go put on a burqa or go and get back to find a nunnery or some shit like that. The thing is you're only doing this not to help her, but to help to serve your own fucking brand because you think that by doing so it's going to help society. No, it's not, because society won't be the same way it is in another generation. So where do you stand at?
And you know when my OnlyFans actually came about? It was during COVID, when everything was closed and I didn't have I was doing real estate and I was dancing at a club and I didn't have any realm of income. So my instinctual thing as a mother was to provide for my son. So I came up with a way to do that, and that's where my OnlyFans originally came about, was really just to take care of my son. Because we couldn't go out of the house, but I still needed to provide. I still needed to pay my own rent.
Thank you.
I still needed to, buy my son stuff.
Thank you.
So that's where it came about. Like my OnlyFans really came about to provide for my child.
Thank you.
So they can judge me all they want. They're not my son's fucking parent.
So I'm gonna throw this out here real quick because Space did put through this. This is a super chat here.
Hence why I don't care what a man makes, because I can make it.
I'll direct this at you. Women will get mad about fathers trying to buy their children after divorce, yet we'll be sitting here arguing the same point about Disneyland and shit.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you were.
Wait, say that one more
basically
time?
trying to buy the affections of their children, whereas
So like
almost like
I think
have them favor them,
kind of apples.
favor them in the divorce is what you mean?
I think it's kind of apples and oranges because you're not trying to buy like a vacation. It's like you're providing for the basic
You're buying their
necessities.
affection.
Here's the thing: is the child that you have right now, are you married to the father still, or is it?
Oh God, no.
No. Okay. So is he paying child support?
Nope, never has.
Never has. So you're basically 100% financially responsible.
Absolutely.
For the child. Okay.
The only thing
that makes a big difference.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why.
Get it.
But my son's father has access to him when I'm out here. But my son's father never had him overnight until he was about 7 or 8, because I told you he was physically abusive to me. He was mentally abusive. He did work to actually be a better person. But until my son was old enough to be able to tell me what happened at Daddy's, he couldn't go there overnight.
Thank you.
So I chose not to fight him in court for custody So even though on paper we have 50-50 custody, I could have went after him for child support. I chose my son's livelihood and safety because I knew that at that point he was a spiteful man, that if I would have went after him for child support, he would have like demanded the time, and during that time I knew my son wouldn't have been like cared for properly or safe.
Yeah.
So I forego the money and I chose to do it myself.
Zoe, you have a daughter or a son?
A daughter.
A daughter?
Yeah.
Would you, I'm going to ask you the same question. Would you want her to get into doing, I don't know how old she is now, but
She's 3.
Okay.
That's a loaded
So,
question.
like, obviously nobody wants that for their kid. Like, I do it. I have nothing against it. But like, I want her to grow up and obviously do better things and like be successful without having to get naked for money. But I didn't have that leisure. Like, I dropped out of school when I was 13. Like, I was like, just went through the ringer as a kid, and this was like a survival thing for me, like growing up. Like, my family and stuff, like, I moved out when I was like pretty young and stuff, and just went to do that. But for her, like, I want to provide like security where she never has to do that. But if she did choose to do that, I wouldn't be upset. I would support her 100% as her mother.
Awesome.
This makes me feel like a
Well,
lot
they were
better
18.
because I
As
had
long as they were at least 18.
I had a miscarriage. I had a miscarriage when I was 18. I'm 25. It's okay. You know, it's fine. But like, people ask me and they say things like this or whatever, and I'm like, I have the same perspective. You feel me? So it makes me feel a lot better about everything that happened because at the end of the day, it's just the needle in the hay.
Can I ask you why your brothers give you such a hard time if your mom condones it?
Yes. Thank you for asking.
Because if they're under the same roof in the household and she's like supporting you, why wouldn't she kind of?
She actually
So
supports your
my mom
sometimes.
has, she has. Okay, so if you leave the house, like say that I'm your mom, right, and then you leave, I will find someone that reminds me of you.
Okay.
And then I will put them in your place and I'll help them get to where they need to be for however long. So my mom has an issue with spreading herself thin.
Okay.
You know? Like, and I'm pretty sure that you probably had this problem before.
Yeah, I take care of everybody.
Yeah, deadass. Like,
Always
it's a
have.
thing. It's a
I'm
maternal
everybody's
instinct.
emergency contact, but nobody answers the phone for me.
Yeah.
One of the things I was going to say is
Rollo
like,
will answer the phone for you.
I will answer.
100%. Put Rollo as your emergency
Yes,
contact.
yes.
If you don't answer the phone for me,
I'm
Michael, we're
always
gonna
there.
have
Of
a
course, I'm
problem.
going to answer the phone for you.
always there.
Are you kidding me?
I was going to say is that
I will
answer
I will send my girlfriend with a Glock to go take care of
Well,
whatever
I will
problem
answer
is.
the phone
got a couple.
if you
That's a
need
scary
someone.
See, there we go.
No, here's my
See,
thing.
now we have a
Blocks
we've
are
got a thing.
unnecessary when there are tacos
Solidarity.
involved.
My boyfriend's a pretty good emergency contact.
Yeah. Well, let me throw one
Am I wrong?
Let me throw one. We're getting short on time, but I want to throw one more thing out here. One of the things that really kind of pissed me off about the whole thing with like, like I was just asking, would you want your daughter to be into it? That was the question that was asked, right? And honestly, rather than asking those questions, why are we not saying, would you favor banning OnlyFans altogether? Because if we're talking right now about banning TikTok,
Yeah, but you can't ban
but we're not
OnlyFans.
going to regulate, and we're not going to find some way to sort of limit OnlyFans because
OnlyFans,
because
OnlyFans
Sex
actually has,
Panther.
like-
right okay
Slushy,
exactly
whatever, yeah.
No,
exactly.
okay, so here's my thing.
And I'm not
Here's-
saying ban, maybe regulate. There's zero regulations whatsoever on
No,
it.
you just have to check
That's
a
not
box that
true.
you're 18.
No,
Yeah.
on
There's
TikTok,
regulation.
there's mad regulations. The TikTok in China is not the same TikTok you will get here. That's what they do not say.
100%.
But people try to say it, but
the point is this: is
don't
rather than ask
get
questions
to.
about would you want your daughter to be in OnlyFans, how about this? Why don't you, instead of that, if you want to have a solution, instead of like trying to like help the next generation and be that guy, why are you not like in some way like writing Congress and saying we need to limit fucking OnlyFans?
I actually,
But you see,
I
that's
am
starting
writing.
to be
you would
this
have
conservative
an
movement that's actually starting to move into.
if you were sincerely worried about saving Western culture
I
from
am.
fucking, well, not you, but I mean just in general, like from moral degeneracy, right? Instead of like like harping on women who with daughters and sons, whatever, who are on OnlyFans. Why are you not marching on fucking Congress right now and say we need to find some way to regulate
But
it?
notice how they only harp on the women and not harp on the men.
That is a more direct way of if you really wanted to. That's a far more pragmatic and more efficient way of helping everybody out. But that never enters the fucking conversation.
But that's also a social. That's also a social like double standard because they will sit there and they will shame the mothers, but they don't shame the guys for OnlyFans, and a lot of them are fathers.
That's why Girthmaster has gone viral.
It's like because you're a mother, you're like sanctimonious.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a dad, which I know several adult stars that are fathers, that they don't get flack for it.
No.
But we do as mothers because it's a sexist bias.
I would love to find out, like, I know it's not Sterling Cooper, but like I would love to find like a male porn star who has a son and say, would you want your son to get into this? I wonder what the answer would be.
I mean, sure, I guess. I mean, whatever. That sounds like, whatever he's got to do to make money.
I know a few that live here that I could probably get here if you want.
Dude, I know Karen. I could ask Karen.
I know top 1% OnlyFan guy who has a son who actually still posts his son on his Instagram that he has linked to his OnlyFans, and that to me is like, no.
Who does that?
I don't understand
should be
that.
Guys, remember, the backup Instagram is where the OnlyFans is attached, not the main Instagram. That's pictures of the family. That goes on there.
Or you have
the porn goes on the backup Instagram. So you guys understand? Thank you. Free game for you right there.
All right,
Just
we
make
got to
sure.
wrap. We got to wrap.